Right, everybody. First video. I am the Brash Dragon. Unfortunately, Jack, over at the Lost Law Scholar, is crashing out. And he's allowing silly things like real life to get in the way of content creation. I won't be having that issue, because I'm a fantasy creature. I don't live in the real world. You know what else are fantasy creatures, though? Demon Lords. And I am going to rank... Not all of them, there's hundreds. But I'm going to rank the ones that I think are important and worth ranking. I'm going to be doing this based on lore, style, aura, and mechanics. There's no objective opinion, other than Orcus is the best one. Oops, spoiler. Let's begin with Baphomet. Now, this dude, based on a real-world cult entity, Demon Prince of Beasts and Minotaurs. He is, unfortunately, not that strong. I want to like him because my favourite type of Demon Lord, or just monsters in general, is a dude that's just he's a big demon, he's got a big weapon, he's savage, he's chaotic evil, as demons are supposed to be, and he just wants to murder. He just wants to go around slaughtering things. Now, Baphomet, he's a terrifying dude. I must admit, he's a very terrifying dude. But, look, I have here a Google Doc. I've summed up their stats. Here's Baphomet's stats. He's got 319 HP. 22 AC is really good, actually. I think it's the highest of, most of the Demon Lords. 40-foot speed. He's a goat, or a minotaur. He's 20 foot tall as well. I didn't actually add that in this, but he's actually one of the tallest Demon Lords. This is a terrifying dude. Imagine him walking down your street. He's, tall. He's, 5 foot taller than the average lamppost. He's, as tall as, a telephone cable. And he's walking towards you. Tall as a house. That's a scary dude. And, his DPR damage per round, for those of you who don't know, I've calculated all this sort of stuff. It does about 120 per round. This is including legendary actions, so I have 57 there. That is just his basic cleaver attacks. Heart cleaver, I believe is things called. It does force damage, so is unlikely to be resisted. And then the 63 is with the extra 3 attacks he gets from his legendary actions. There's a gore ability where I believe if he moves up to 10 feet and then does an attack, it does more damage. So if he can pull that off every round, somehow, he does more DPR. But other than that, basically around 120. Special features, these are just abilities he has. He can teleport, he can cast maze. That's about all he can really do with spellcasting. To be honest, he doesn't need to cast maze. He's already in a maze. If you're fighting this dude, and he's out of his labyrinth, the DM doesn't want him to succeed. Okay? He can reverse gravity in his lair. I think this goes up to 100 feet. I might be wrong, but this could actually be his goated ability. Because if he just does that, and you all fall towards the ceiling, which is 100 feet away, that's 100 feet of fall damage. And it's a lair action. So he might do that multiple times. He's not going to... Let's be real, guys. He's got 319 HP. He isn't going to survive one round. He doesn't really have a lot. He's got a frightful presence like dragons get. But there's not a lot he can do mechanically that will stave off a level 20 party. Bear in mind, he's CR 23. That's on the lower end for the Demon Lords. But he is still a tier 4 monster. So even if we were to be generous and put him up against a level 15 party, he still isn't surviving one round. People think 300 plus HP is a lot in 5e. It ain't. It's nothing. His AC 22, that might as well say 0. Because tier 4 players have plus 15, plus 60, plus 18 to hit. Right? I guarantee that a level 20 barbarian maybe have to be a bear totem, because he does do force damage, fair play. Could probably solo this guy. So, aesthetically, I like him. Lore-wise, he's really cool. He's got the labyrinth. He's got the Pale Knight in the middle, who I haven't included in this list because I'm not going to lie. I actually don't know shit all about the Pale Knight. I'm pretty sure that's intentional. I don't think you're supposed to know anything about the Pale Knight, other than she's an Oberith. So, I'm going to put Baphomet in C tier. He looks cool. He's menacing. Would I use him as a BBEG for a whole campaign? No. He would be a side encounter where, like, you accidentally step through a portal to the Abyss and you end up in his labyrinth or something. And you got to escape, like... Or you just one-shot him because you're a level 20 group. Right, now, we're moving on to some actual Demon Lords. We've got Yeenoghu. This dude. The Demon Lord of Gnolls. Now, you'd think the Demon Lord of Minotaurs would be stronger than the Demon Lord of Gnolls. Especially considering Baphomet is like a more well-known name than Yeenoghu. It's, again, based off real-world cult. Yeenoghu, I'm pretty sure, is just an original creation of whoever created him. Maybe it's Gary Gygax, who knows. But Yeenoghu, right, here we are. Listen. Everything I just said about Baphomet being scary and terrifying, times that by 10 with Yeenoghu. Now, he's much smaller. I think he's like 12 foot tall. To be honest, in terms of D&D monsters, that's small. But there's something I think that's actually more terrifying about Yeenoghu than, say, like a 40-foot ancient dragon. And the reason why is because he's only 12 foot tall. That's about just shy of a lamppost. The terror is more personal. Because this is the sort of dude that will notice you and actively hunt you down. He can smell your blood from like 50 miles away. I'm pretty sure actually if you're on his entire like layer of the Abyss, he knows where you are at all times. But this guy, he's a hunter, he's a pack leader, and he leads gnolls, which are already kind of terrifying. I'm not going to lie, gnolls don't get enough credit. I would honestly argue gnolls are more scary than orcs. But this is like the most bestial. I think he embodies what a demon lord in D&D is supposed to be. Because he's literally, like, he's chaotic evil manifest. There's no, like... He's not trying to trick you and outsmart you like Graz'zt or Fraz'urblu, right? He's not got, like, schemes. He's not even really vying for, like, domination of... Actually, he probably is vying for domination of the universe. I'm pretty sure all the Demon Lords are. But, like, he just wants to kill shit. And he wants to do it in the most brutal way possible. Now, stats-wise, I'm not going to lie. He's not very good. It's unfortunate. 333 HP, again, like I said, anything less than 500, gone. 1 round, dead. Doesn't matter. 20 AC, might as well say 0. 50 foot speed, that's chasing down pretty much anyone. You're not outrunning him. CR24, he's 1 higher than Baphomet. DPR, 132. Once per multi-attack, he does get plus 13. He does like an extra 2d10 damage or whatever it is with his flail. But I think the most important mechanic that he has is every time he hits you with his flail, you can either take extra damage, which is the plus 13. You could be paralyzed, which is huge, or you become, I think, confused. Yeah, confusion right there, confusion on hit. That, I guess, is his most powerful ability. I haven't run this guy in practice. I'm assuming he would hit most of the attacks. He's got like a plus 16 to hit. But I think the knockback, the paralyze, confusion, all these type of things, that's his best ability, but that's kind of his only ability. Yes, he's got invisibility, but it's not greater. He's got teleport, like most of the Demon Lords does. He's got fear. Teleport is only really going to help him in getting away, like actually just escaping. But would Yeenoghu want to escape? Probably not. Rampage is okay, but only if he's fighting against, like, low-level parties. Like, again, kind of like Baphomet, I wouldn't run this guy as a BBG. I would run this guy as a, right, you've been teleported to the Abyss, there's a portal 300 feet in that direction. Uh-oh, Yeenoghu's chasing you. That would be a terrifying encounter for, like, a level 10 party, I think. with a bunch of gnolls and demons, obviously, with him, just in case they, the gnolls and demons don't have to do anything, but, in case they turn around and just try, let's fight him. Unfortunately, a level 10 party is probably going to kill him. So, he's, apparently as well, he's got a pet called Krokatoric, which is this massive, huge demon that just vomits up other demons. And it's like 80 foot tall. This dude's 12 foot tall. I love the size differences in D&D. They make like no sense at all. I mean, I'll talk more about that when I get to Demogorgon, because there's some funny shit going on there. So we are going to put Yeenoghu in the B tier. He is a perfect embodiment of a demon. Stats-wise, terrible. But his aura is huge. Right, Juiblex. The ooze. The slime. This dude is a hard one to place. Because he's the only demon lord that isn't even a bloody demon. He's a slime. He doesn't command demons, he commands slimes. And look, I like the demon lords because every single one of them is very unique. And what I like about Juiblex is he's just this unknowable eldritch entity that just sits there. It's almost as if he's not supposed to be a demon lord because he shares a layer with Zuggtmoy. So for all intents and purposes, Zuggtmoy should have that control of that whole layer. Juiblex is just there as this unknowable entity, and no one wants to fuck with him because he's been there since like the creation of the abyss. No one even knows how he was made. I'm pretty sure he's just like the living embodiment of the primordial soup that like created the universe or some shit. I might be wrong, who cares? But I just like the fact that he's chilling. He literally contributes nothing to the Blood War. This is what I find hilarious. Like he has he has ambitions, but no one knows what they are. Other than one day he's going to consume the whole universe in slime. But, that's just... He's just kind of waiting for that to happen. He's not really making it a reality. But for the most part, he doesn't send any help to the Blood War. He doesn't care about the Blood War. He doesn't even really care about the Abyss. Like, he is a demon lord in title only. Now, mechanically, we're starting to get pretty scary. Again, level 20 players. Look, every demon lord on this list, a level 20 group is going to stomp the shit out of them. It's just a question of how easily they get stomped. I think Juiblex is a lot more powerful than Baphomet and Yeenoghu. 350 HP. Look, he's got lower AC, but does it matter? No. Like I said with the 22 AC on Baphomet, might as well say 0. He's only got a 30-foot speed, so he is outrunnable. But he's also got spider climb. Could you imagine, like, you're going into the abyss, it's all dark. Oh, I've got dark vision. Shut up. It's magical darkness. And this dude is just clinging to the ceiling, and you don't even see him. Like, you enter the chamber, and you will look around, the door closes behind you, there's like a big wall of slime, just blocks the door off, and he just, like, descends from the ceiling. That's creepy shit. Now, 126 DPR. It's mostly acid damage. Not as good as force. He does have an effect, though, with his attacks, where I believe if he kills you with them, he consumes you after 1 minute. That is an utterly useless ability in combat, because he first has to kill you, which you're dead anyway. And then you have to he has to survive 1 minute. Bro, that's 10 rounds. He's got 350 HP. He's not surviving 10 rounds with that much HP against a level 5 group. But his spellcasting, he's got Blight and things like that for damaging. He's got gaseous forms. Honestly, his spellcasting sucks. He's an ooze. Does it really matter? He does, however, have a cone breath attack. I think he's the only demon lord on this list, other than Pazuzu, who doesn't have an official stat block, by the way, for 5e, so I won't be looking at his stat block. But he's the only one I think has like a breath attack for an average of 55 acid damage, 60-foot cone. That's pretty good. Well, that's pretty average, should I say, to be honest. It's pretty average. But it's useful. He has a bunch of layer actions which restrain. He like puts these puddles of acid down, and if you step in it, you like fall over or get restrained and take acid damage. If you start your turn with him, like 10 feet of him, you get poisoned. He can regenerate unless he takes radiant damage for some reason. I guess he's a demon, but he's not. I would have really honestly assumed fire. Which, funny enough, I'm pretty sure he's resistant to fire. He's immune to basically every single condition. Like, he can't be poisoned, he can't be paralyzed, he can't be prone, grappled, restrained, unconscious, sleeping, exhausted. He is just immune to... Like, you just gotta do flat damage to this dude. I'm gonna put Juiblex. I think, aesthetically, he looks cool as shit. He's unique. He is not the sort of creature that your average fantasy author or world builder would include as a demon lord. He seems like he's supposed to be something else entirely. He's like the opposite of Yeenoghu, where Yeenoghu is like the demon lord, to me. I'm going to put him in... He's going in B. I might... Nah, he's staying below Yeenoghu just because Yeenoghu's cool. Zuggtmoy. Demon Lord of Fungus and Disease. This Demon Lord, to me, could... I think it's the first one out of the list so far that I would actually run as a BBG. Because this one is basically like... Imagine an actual living plague. Like, imagine the Black Death. And, like, you're in medieval Europe. Everyone's... 1/3 of the population's dead to this plague. And then you find out it was caused by a demon lord who just spreads fungal spores, which causes diseases. It can mind control. Here we are. Let's look at his stats. Shit. They're awful. I actually think mechanically she might actually be the weakest demon lord. Like, sure, she can do some hacks with her fungal spores. She's got mind controls, and she has this disease one, which is like her main ability. Where if you get infected, you got to succeed like a bunch of con saves. And if you succeed even one, you're basically immune to the effect. But if you fail like 3 in a row, which, let's be honest, tier 4 play, I think it's like a DC 21 con save, but yeah, the odds of failing 3 in a row, and you have to do it over the course of several days too, which is a completely pointless ability, because if she's a BBEG, if you're fighting this person, you're probably ending the campaign as soon as you've killed her. So, it's kind of a moot point. I mean, I guess it could be if you're doing a long-running campaign and she has like an encounter with you towards like in the middle of it or something, and then attacks you with it. That could be deadly, especially if she gets you at low level. Like, I can imagine like a level 5 to 10 party investigating this plague, and like Zuggtmoy herself just sort of like wanders past, just flings fungal spores at them, and now you've got to make 3 DC 21 con saves over like the next 3 days, or you just die and you get raised as a myconid. Like, that is like the biggest like BM a demon lord can possibly do. Like, that's worse than being raised as a zombie. You're being raised as a fucking myconid. That is embarrassing. Like, at that point, you go, DM, can you just kill off my character, like, rather than raise him as a myconid? Can you just, like, say that I just explode into, like, a fine paste instead? Because I'd honestly rather that, to be honest. He's like, nah, you're a myconid. Now your party's going to have to fight you. I'm not even going to make him roll initiative, because you're so fucking weak, they're just going to slap you. Yeah, that's embarrassing. She does have the protective Thrall ability, where if she's about to take damage as a reaction, she can have one of her minions take damage instead. I'm not going to lie, I can't really think of any strong, like, fungus minions that she could have. It would just be all, like, really shitty myconids. I think there's, like, Violet Fungus Necro Hulk in the new edition, which is okay. It's like a CR5. But that's still a really good ability. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to downplay that one. Like, as a reaction, she basically just negates an attack. Doesn't matter, though. 304 HP. She needs all the negation she can, because she's fucked. Like, honestly, again, really cool concept, because she's just a walking plague. Very good BBEG material. I'd put her below Juiblex, just because I think Juiblex has better aura and is actually mechanically better. Right now, okay, boys. We are actually getting into the good ones now. Graz'zt. I'm calling him Graz'zt because it's like Drizzt, but Graz'zt. I don't care if I'm wrong. Look, this dude, 9 foot tall. He's the smallest demon lord by far. This dude is like, if you had a Goliath barbarian in your group and you were fighting this guy, not only would you probably solo him, to be honest, but you're probably bigger than him. Like, this dude, he is not scary looking, but that's the idea. He's supposed to look reasonable and charismatic. I can't remember whose video I was watching. Someone ran him as a BBG, and they were saying how, like, they basically convinced the party that he was their friend. Right? Right up until the very end. This dude, running him would be like running a green dragon on steroids. I'm pretty sure he's got higher intelligence than an ancient green dragon. Better stats too. 346 HP. Look, all of the Demon Lord stats suck dick. He might survive 1 extra hit. 20 AC, might as well say 0. Speed, 40 feet. Okay, he's fast. DPR, 150. I think that's one of the highest DPRs, because his sword does a lot of damage. Now, that might actually be wrong. He might actually do more, because I was using, like, this 5e, not this. This is the SRD up in this corner, which I was looking for a Dagon stat block and I couldn't find a proper one. They were all third party. But I was using like 5e tools. I think if you just type in like Graz'zt 5e, it's like one of the first results. And it said he makes 2 attacks with his sword, but I swear if I remember reading Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, which I can't be asked to go look at, he has 3, so maybe it's an extra attack, so he might actually do more, which would mean he is the highest DPR Demon Lord. Well, one of them. Honestly, this guy's a manipulator. He's not a fighter. Even in the lore, it states he's not. He is one of the big 3 Demon Lords, and the fact he's able to go toe-to-toe with Demogorgon and Orcus when he is not that strong is very impressive. He controls the most amount of layers out of any Demon Lord. We are not counting Lolth, because Lolth, yes, she's a Demon Lord, but that's like so low down on her list of titles. She's just a god that lives in the abyss, let's be real. Like, she's not on the same tier as the Demon Lords. She's so much further above them. There ain't no point carrying Lolth. Okay? So aside from her, Graz'zt has the most amount of layers. He doesn't even have a big army, which is even more impressive when you think about it, because he's very choosy. He likes the attractive demons. He likes his succubuses and things. This dude, though, even though he's supposed to be the mega brain, galaxy brain, 5-head Demon Lord, like, the only thing I really know about him in his lore, of what he's actually done, is he got bloody captured by Tasha. Like, so did Fraz'urblu, to be honest, but he got captured by Tasha. Then he fell in love with Tasha, he escaped, captured her, but then she escaped, like, faster than he escaped, and it really pissed him off. So, like, all I'm getting from that interaction is Tasha's just stronger than this dude. Which, he's one of the big 3 Demon Lords. This dude's getting outsmarted by... I know Tasha's powerful. Well, she was Igwilv at the time, okay. She was the witch, not Tasha. I don't know the bloody difference. But, look. In theory, he's impressive because he goes toe-to-toe with the big 3. With the other 2, should I say. But, in terms of actual... Like, he... To be fair, actually, no, I'm going to take that back, right. I was watching a video about another Demon Lord who I forgot to include on this list, called, like, Adimarcus or something. And this dude, because I don't think he's in 5e, so there's no point even bloody including him. But this guy is like a fallen planetar, okay? He rules some layer of the abyss, and he's seeking redemption, and you have this Aasimar paladin with 6 fingers, who comes along and is like, yeah, I'll help you find redemption. They have a fight. The Aasimar loses, but Adimarcus doesn't have it in him to kill the Aasimar paladin. So they form this very close bond over the course of however bloody many eons. It's Demon Lords. It probably took thousands of years. And eventually Graz'zt learns of this relationship, and he doesn't like Adimarcus. He's one of his rivals. So he basically gets Adimarcus' own demon minions to turn against him. And They capture the Asmar Paladin, and they put him in this asylum, which is guarded by an undead named Dark Miracle. It's not spelled actual like miracle. It's like Myrk. It's like Merkel. But anyway, Adimarchus, he abandons his lair of the abyss. He abandons his demon army. He goes to save this dude, and he strikes a bargain with Dark Miracle. And he's like, my freedom in exchange for the Asapar's freedom. And Dark Miracle readily agrees. They sign a contract, and in he goes. He's going to take his place in the asylum so the Aasimar can be freed. Anyway, it turns out the Aasimar was just Graz'zt's son, and this was just all part of Graz'zt's plan the entire time. Like, that's Galaxy Brain right there. That's 5-head. So not only is he highest DPR Demon Lord so far, okay, in special features, the only one I can really see... Dominate Monster's powerful, let's be real. He's got a lot of charm and madness abilities. Like, there's a lot of CC going on there. There's a lot of, like... You know, yeah, sorry, you are getting around this round, but you're fighting your own friends with it. Greater invisibility, though. Like, not only does he do massive damage, but he can be invisible while doing it. Now, granted, that is completely and utterly negated by blind sight, true sight, things like that, which at tier 4, you probably have one guy with that. But if you're not at tier 4... Like, on paper, this dude's pretty strong. Like, he's actually not a pushover. Well, no, he is a pushover, but he's less of a pushover than the other ones. So, you know what? Graz'zt is going in A tier. His aura is a little bit weird, though. Right, Fraz'urblu. This dude, Fraz'urblu. Here he is, look at him. Big old fucking gargoyle, 12 foot tall. They're all 12 foot. Look, I saw someone else's Demon Lord ranking and they put him in, like, Gets Bullied tier. Which all of them should be in Gets Bullied tier, to be honest. But Fraz'urblu, like, he was created by Gary Gygax. This is, like, the most Gary Gygax thing you can ever hear of since he's created Tomb of Horrors. Gary Gygax got really annoyed at the fact that his entire party had Vorpal swords and they were ruining his campaign. Like, he really didn't like that. So you know what he did? He created Fraz'urblu, and I can't remember how he tricked them, but he tricked his whole party into like basically ending up in the abyss, and Fraz'urblu just like stole all their weapons and destroyed them. Like, that was his entire purpose. Now this dude is like the Demon Lord of like illusions and deceptions. Graz'zt is like, he's like, oh, I don't even remember, like deception, charm. I don't bloody remember what he's the demon. But anyway, like, these two are very similar. I know that, like, Graz'zt is more of a... He's a charismatic dude. He's like the bard, in a sense. He's going to go around and he's going to persuade and deceive and all that type of thing, right? He's going to manipulate. Whereas Fraz'urblu is he's just a straight-up illusionist. He's like the Demon Lord of Lies, but he his whole thing... Like, he literally made his entire lair look like it belonged on Mount Celestia. Like, he made it look like heaven for a while because he's so good at illusions. Now, granted, he also got captured by Tasha and imprisoned under Castle Greyhawk, which funnily enough, I'm pretty sure Zuggtmoy did too. Like, these three are embarrassing. But he hasn't really done anything in the lore. So, now mechanically, 123 DPR, weak. 337 HP, weak, 18 AC, might as well say 0. He can fly with his big stone wings. Now, I will say, every time he hits you with his tail, you are grappled. He does have things like Modify Memory, and if a DM is really creative with the illusions, he could actually be unstoppable. But that's only if the DM is really good with the illusions. It's very reliant on having a creative DM. I'm not a creative DM. So this dude... There is one thing he does, though. I'm not going to lie, actually. Right, I'm not actually going to lie. This is actually an S tier ability. He can create a simulacrum of, like, one of the player characters, provided they're all humanoid. It's only for one round, but if you've got, like, a really powerful wizard in your group, and bear in mind, illusions, so they're, like, trying to find the real Fraz'urblu out of the 52 of them in the room, He can make a simulacrum of the wizard for 1 round, and just have that simulacrum nuke the group with, like, the biggest spells it has. And that's a layer action. Which, let's be real, he's pulling off that once and he's dying. But if he doesn't, he could do it twice. I think that's a pretty good ability. That's a very unique ability. One thing I like about the Demon Lord stat blocks over the the Ancient Dragons, because they're about on par in terms of CR. And kind of on par in terms of stats. But I think the Demon Lords just have more unique and interesting abilities than the Dragons. They genuinely do. And I think that is one of them. So I think for that, I think he looks cool. But he's not that weak. He's going above Baphomet in C tier. I wouldn't run him as a BBG. I don't even really see him as, like, the sort of guy. The only thing I would use him actually as is, let's say I'm running a different campaign for, like, Orcus or something. I might have Fraz'urblu just appear to the group as, like, some divine celestial because he's using illusions. Kind of like with Graz'zt, but not as good. And he's going to, like, basically be the quest giver or something, where the group is just following what he wants to do the entire time. And then right at the end, he reveals, haha, it was me, Fraz'urblu, all along. And then he betrays them. And he probably still dies because he got, like, no fucking stats to him at all. They'd be like, haha, this level 20 group is finally weakened after fighting the mighty Orcus. Now I can kill them and claim Orcus's domain and claim their loot at the same. Oh, shit. They killed me. Oops. Right, here we go. Demogorgon. I call him Demogorgon. But I'm pretty sure it's meant to be Demogorgon because he's a demon. I don't call him demons. But I do say lemons. So, you know. Swings and roundabouts. Fucking look at him. This dude. I get it. He's the strongest demon. He's the demon prince. Right? He's like the first Tanari or whatever. Like, he's hyped up. He's ancient. He's strong as shit. But he's like a dinosaur in that he's past his prime. I have no idea how this guy is still like the Demon Prince after all these editions. They made him and Orcus fight, I think in 4th edition, to see who would be a Demon Lord. And he somehow beat Orcus. Now, I don't know what their stats are like in 4th edition. I never played that shit. But try that again in 5th edition. I fucking dare you. Esper the Bard did it, and Demogorgon got stomped. He got absolutely rinsed. Now, I'm not saying that he's that weak for a Demon Lord. This dude is actually a lot stronger than basically everyone we've covered so far on the list. 406 HP. This dude might survive for 2 rounds, guys. 22 AC, might as well say 0. Speed, 50 feet, and he's got a 50-foot swim speed. This dude can swim. How? I guess he's like a squid in the water. Right, damage per round. 149. Now, special features. Every time he slaps you with his tentacles, your max HP is reduced by the amount of damage taken. The problem with that ability is it sounds scarier than it actually is. Again, like Zuggtmoy, this dude's probably a BBG. Right? And unless you're heavily reliant on healing in tier 4 play, which, let's be fucking real, why would you be? Like, okay, there's the heal spell, which does 70. That's really good, to be honest with you. But, like, having your max HP reduced is literally no different than just taking damage and not being healed. And you're probably not going to need to be healed. Oh no, he's done 149 damage to me over the course of a round with his legendary actions and main actions. But he's dead because the wizard fucking casted Disintegrate. The paladin did 4 divine smites. The fighter did 9 attacks in a row. And I'm the barbarian, and I just hit him for like 120 damage with my great axe. So I don't think it matters that much. Now, he's got a gaze ability where he like stuns you with his gaze. That's okay. High DC. That's a pretty good one. I think he paralyzes you actually with his gaze. He can make illusory duplicates of himself, which I find so funny. Poor Fraz'urblu, right? He's supposed to be the Demon Lord of like deception and lies, but then like Graz'zt does it better, and now Demogorgon's doing it better. Like, how embarrassing. He's got Feeble Mind, which I have used against a wizard. That spell is... against a caster is so good. Against a barbarian, it's utterly, utterly useless. Because barbarians already have like 1 int. But in terms of, he hits hard, he's okay. Like, I think he's still the strongest one on the list, just in terms of raw stats. He is basically Yeenoghu and Baphomet, but like on steroids. Like, he's slapping the shit out of both of them. No, like low diff. And I think just because of who he is, he's going up here, but look, he's a fucking monkey, right? He's a 2-headed monkey with like tentacle arms and lizard legs. Bro, look, I'm actually sad they didn't make an entirely new edition with 2024. They should have made 6E, and they should have done that fucking fight again with Orcus and this dude, because, bro, you're past your prime. But he's still top of 80. I'm not going to disrespect him too much. Speaking of disrespect, though, Kostchtchie. Bro, I don't care about what how his name's supposed to be pronounced. This guy's useless. Look at this dude. Look at him. He's the big ogre. So, me and Jack actually made a video on this guy. The most pathetic demon lord. This guy, like, he's hyped up. He's the demon lord of the Iron Wastes. Bro, he's like the demon lord of giants. Like, whoa. He's got to be strong as shit. He must be. Then you look at his stats. I think his stats come from Descent into Avernus. I've never played that module, but I think he's there as a prisoner, from what I understand. Because his lore is he'd go around subjugating entire Frost Giant tribes. No, bro, that's strong. Like, Frost Giants aren't pushovers. So this guy must be really strong to do this. He's just going around, like, entire tribes, like, bending the knee to him. Bro, this is impressive. Right, he just goes around the Iron Waste just fighting people. And, look. He goes into Avernus, and he takes out, like, a whole legion of devils. Bro, this guy must be S tier. S tier, absolutely. Then he gets defeated by Zarya, which is made twice as funny by the fact he has a hatred of women. Because he got bullied by Tasha and Baba Yaga in his youth or something. Like, and now he hates women. And then he gets beaten by Zariel. And then he gets chained to a rock in Avernus, and like it said, like, oh, his cries could be heard for miles around. Bro, like, he's throwing a tantrum. And he's probably there for eons, and then you like find him in Descent of Avernus. I think he gets released. I don't even think he gets given his hammer back. He's got a really cool hammer, which, to be honest, right, this is the thing, carries 243 HP. He's a CR25. Bro's got like CR10 stats. This is awful. 16 AC, might as well say 0. 40 speed. This dude is a large-sized creature as well, which means he's literally smaller than a Frost Giant. So how he's going around subjugating Frost Giants, I actually have no idea. His DPR, right, 155 is really good. But he does have a legendary action where he can make one creature vulnerable to all damage that he deals. And if he does that, he can do up to 186 against you, which is unironically the highest DPR Demon Lord. But like, as in terms of like just straight up physical attacks. That's actually funny to me. Plus, every time he hits with his Warhammer, he does 3d6, which is an average of 10 cold damage, in a 30-foot AoE to everyone else. Every time he hits. Too bad he only swings like twice. But he also has like high level. Like, this dude trains wizards. What a weird, like, he's an oak. Look at him. Look at this dude. He's a big dumb idiot, right? And yet he trains wizards. He can cast like 9th level spells and shit. He's got like gate, harm, darkness, teleport. Like, bro is he's going in D tier. Right, Pazuzu and Dagon. These two I do not have stats for because I don't think they have official 5e stat blocks. I found one for Pazuzu, but it was from like Minsk and Boo's fucking Monster Mat life. I've never heard of it. I don't think it's a legit I'm pretty sure it's third party. And Dagon, all of his stats are third party as well. They're from like Tome of Beasts and stuff, which I couldn't really I couldn't find one that was really. There was one where he has like a big trident, which is like the most accepted one, but then he's like only a large creature. But then there's another one that seemed more like his style because he was a big, huge demon, but he only did about 90 DPR and it was like a CR 28. I don't know. So I'm not going to look at the stats of these guys because they're not legit. Now, Pazuzu, if you used his Minsk and Boo stats, does have some cool abilities, but look, Pazuzu is a weird one because this dude and Dagon are Oberifs, right? The only Oberifs on this list. And they are ancient as fuck. And the fun thing about them is, like, this guy, he controls the skies of the Abyss. Dagon controls the depths of the Abyss. And no one wants to mess with Pazuzu. It's even alleged, actually, that he is the reason Asmodeus fell to madness in the Abyss. Because he came to the Abyss to wage war against the demons as a Celestial. And it was Pazuzu that started being like, hey, bro. So, like, how long have you been serving these gods? And Asmodeus is like, yeah, like an eternity. And he goes, eternity of service. That's impressive. But, unfortunately, you know, they're going to repay you with another eternity of service, unfortunately, mate. Like, you ain't getting rewarded for your actions here. I'm not going to lie. And then off he flies, you know, like a harpy, an eagle. And that little seed of doubt that he places in Asmodeus' mind is the reason why the Shard of Evil was able to, like, corrupt him so easily. That's all. I don't know if that's actual lore, but that's what I've heard. And, like, Pazuzu's one of those guys, like, I think he wants to bring back the might of the Oberifs and all that shit, but all of the other Demon Lords do not mess with him. Like, he literally controls the top layer of the Abyss. Like, he's like the gatekeeper of the Abyss. And he's just got, like, giant birds flying around like rocks. He's like floating islands and shit. I also think that on his layer, he's also got, like, this castle or something where all the Oberifs actually meet every 1,000 years. So he's like the arbiter of that, I suppose. So I think Pazuzu, I think he's an A tier. I don't really know enough about him to put him any higher. He's, lore-wise, pretty bloody powerful. Maybe even one of the most powerful ones there. But then we have Dagon. Right. So remember I mentioned height, sight, like, differences being funny. Demogorgon's like 12 feet, right? Dagon's 40 feet. This dude is huge. He's like a Lovecraftian, he's Cthulhu, basically. Right? He's Lovecraftian horror. And yet he's formed an alliance with Dagon, with Demogorgon. And it's like, bro, why are you allying with Demogorgon? Just step on him. Like, I guess it's all part of Dagon's grand schemes. You know, he's sitting in the bottom of his trench. And that's the thing, like, you fight Pazuzu, and, like, you're fighting him in the skies. That's dangerous, bro. He could knock you out of the air, and you're fucked. But Dagon, you're fighting him in the depths of the abyss. I know I said that twice because they're in the abyss, but he's, like, in the abyss of the abyss. So, like, I think environmentally these two actually have the best home field advantage out of any Demon Lord. Like, their environment will fuck you up. I'm pretty sure, like, Pazuzu has an ability on his unofficial stat sheet where if you try and fly too close, you gotta make a DC 21 wisdom save, or you just waste your turn. Like, Dagon, though, he's a 40-foot tall anglerfish, right? He could just eat anyone else on this list. Like, genuinely. But he's chilling in the bottom of the sea. He's mysterious. He's Lovecraftian. He's Cthulhu-ish. You know, he's mysterious. I said that twice again. Repetitive. I'm putting him in A tier, along with Pazuzu. Honestly, I think he's probably the strongest Demon Lord lore-wise. Like, he's just so big that, like, even, like, Orcus, who I'm about to talk about, like, anyone else on this list just gets eaten by him. He just opens his big mouth, which is probably like 20 foot tall in itself, and just eats you. So I really fail to see how Demogorgon would do anything to this dude. But, you know, they're allies. And I'm pretty sure Dagon's like the reason Demogorgon's even still the Demon Prince, because he feeds him information and shit. So he's carrying. This dude... There we are. He's carrying. Right, here we are. We're on Orcus. Bro, look. Orcus, the more I look at his stat block, at first glance, he's not that powerful. 400 HP, 17 to 20 AC. Might as well say 0. CR 26. Him and Demogorgon, the highest CR Demon Lords, other than apparently Dagon, who's 28. 158 DPR. Smacking you with his wand a few times, which in older editions used to straight up kill you. If he still had that ability, bro, like, it's not going to matter though, because I actually think Orcus may be one of the strongest creatures in all of official 5th edition. Asmodeus, I'm not actually sure if he's official. I think Chains of Asmodeus was 3rd party. It might have been official, I honestly don't know. If it was, then Asmodeus is stronger, because he just summons Pit Fiends as a fucking legendary action every turn. Like, how do you stop that? But, and also he's a CR 30 with 725 HP. But Orcus, for the longest time, he's always been my favourite Demon Lord. I like Undead. I think he's like he's the scariest Demon Lord. He's the coolest Demon Lord. Thanatos is his lair, like... This dude is like the most active Demon Lord. He's done so much. He fucking got like... He was so successful that he got fat and lazy. And then like Kieran Sully, this drow demigod of vengeance, like killed him and dethroned him. And like his wand couldn't be destroyed because it's a divine artifact. So she hid it away. He fucking turned into a shadow demon. Right? He went up to Primus, the fucking god of like lawful neutrality. He just walks up to this dude and kills him with, like, the last word, which is, like, power word kill on steroids, which he just found, by the way. And then takes his place. The Modrons don't even realise that Primus has been replaced. So he initiates the Great Modron March to look for his wand, and, like, succeeds. Then he takes back his wand, obviously just annihilates Kieran Sully, this drow demigod, just fucking destroys it, right? And this dude... Bro, he launches an invasion of the Shadowfell, right? With the aim to destroy the Raven Queen. Like, he's the closest Demon Lord. He's got the biggest following of any Demon Lord on the material plane. He's the closest to being a divine being, other than, obviously, Lolth. He basically is a god. And the fact is, he can go around, even without the last word. I don't think he has it anymore, but he was threatening enough to where the Raven Queen, in her own domain of the Shadowfell, had to call for reinforcements from the player characters. I think this is in 4th edition, so let's be real, probably non-canon. From the player characters, and Vecna. Like, bro. Orcus, he is the strongest Demon Lord. He is the strongest Demon Lord, and not only that, he's one of the strongest creatures, and here's why. Special features. He can cast Power Word Kill as a layer action. Like, and that, okay, initiative count 20, you're dead. It's over. He can cast Time Stop. I've put Finger of Death in there as like a notable spell. Oh, shit. Whew. Right there, Finger of Death. That's not that good, but he does have a legendary action where he can make you vulnerable to necrotic damage, and it's like an AoE. And then a Finger of Death, that'll do like 100 damage. Now, granted, 158 with just, wand and tail. But here's where it gets so broken. The Wand of Orcus can conjure 500 HP worth of undead. Right, 500 HP. Okay? That means he can conjure 2 Dracoliches, which have 225 HP each, and still have 50 HP left over for some other minions. But if he conjures 2 Dracoliches, which have necrotic breath weapons, by the way, makes you vulnerable to necrotic, each dragon will do an average of 105 necrotic damage to you. There's 2 of them. And you're vulnerable to necrotic until the end of Orcus' next turn. So they could both breath attack you. You've just taken like 210 necrotic damage, plus whatever damage Orcus is going to deal with you. Like that, I actually think out of any Demon Lord that might, if used correctly, I actually TPK a group of 4 level 20 players. I actually think it's Orcus. Now, in practice, let's be real, summons 2 Dracoliches, the players go, whatever, and they just focus him down anywhere and he dies. Okay, yeah, like, you know, Power Word Kill's only good if you're below 100 HP, which, he's got many ways of getting you below 100 HP, I'm not going to lie. So technically, if you've got like 250 HP at level 20, technically against Orcus, you've only got 150, because the minute you reach that 100 mark, you are just guaranteed dead. Because he can cast Power Word Kill, and he doesn't just cast it once, he can cast it, I don't know how many times, it's not that many, but he could at least snipe 1 or 2 characters, I think, out of the group. Right, and the fact he can conjure the Dracoliches, or he could summon 3 Liches, or 2 Death Knights, 1 Lich, or do what Esper the Bard did and summon 30 Shadows, which, to be honest, against player characters probably won't do a lot, because if you got a Wizard with Fireball, it's over. Or a Cleric with Spirit Guardians, like in Baldur's Gate 3. But he could do Chill Touch as a legendary action as well, which, okay, he could cast a cantrip as a... Bro, who cares? It's necrotic damage, right? Which will be doubled. But not only that, it stops you from healing. You're like, oh, I'm on 99 HP. Healer, I really need to be healed before he has another turn or he's going to Power Word Kill me. Oh, sorry, he did Chill Touch earlier. And it's got like a plus 19 to hit, so it ain't going to miss. Like, Orcus is actually broken. Other than like Kieran Sully, who I can't even remember where she's from. I think she's official 5e. I think he's actually the strongest creature in D&D. At least in 5e. Just because of the wand. Now, you might argue, well, what about without the wand? Bro, why would you separate him from his wand? Oh, it's carrying him. But, like, if you had, like, a god, like a paladin god, and he forged his own weapon, like a big greatsword, big holy greatsword, and it, like, or like a solar with his bow that just kills you in one hit because it's a slaying bow. Like, and you go, oh, that's too powerful on this. Bro, it's part of the fucking stat sheet. It literally assumes in his multi-attack he's using his wand to hit you with it. Like, he's keeping his wand, and like, he's in S tier. That's all I can say. Right? Thanks for watching, guys. I rambled. I needed to do this. So, yeah. Maybe there'll be some more videos. Maybe I'll actually put some proper editing into it and, like, streamline them a little bit. But, bro, like, I needed to ramble about these Demon Lords, man. I needed to do it. So, go follow me on Twitter. BrashDragon1. One and only BrashDragon. I sometimes tweet shit. You'll see me on Tittle, Jack's stream, Lost Law Scholar, all that type of thing. Cheers, boys.